What's up? It is chicken, beans, tomatoes, and taco seasoning. You know what I don't like a lot about the Instant Pot? Maybe I'm not using it correctly, but everything I make in an Instant Pot turns into a stew. I know you can put noodles and rice, but I don't want to put noodles and rice. What if I just want to not have so much water? You know, all the water from the chicken just ends up in the pot and basically makes a stew. I'm sure there's some ways around that, but I'm not familiar with them. Still very good nonetheless. You know what I'd like to do right now is not this video. I really wish I didn't have to do a video today. I have so much editing that I'm behind on that I need to get done, and I'm hoping to get some done tonight. I'd like just like 10 minutes at the end of my day to like sit and watch a TV show or something. And this is a dope video. I've had a lot of weak vids because I've mostly been posting raw content, as you've seen. I can't do that today. I had a shoot today, but I can't do it today just because the guy is not cool about it. But as somebody who's doing motivational speaking, really good, you know, I mean, I do just have somewhat of a skeptic. I don't know. For some reason, motivational speaking just doesn't work for me. I don't know if it's maybe because I'm just not a terribly positive person in the traditional sense. But there's just something about saying a phrase. It doesn't really hard for that to change my life. Just telling me like, you have to go the extra 10% to get to your 100%. And I don't know, that just doesn't resonate with me. It seems very substanceless. I just tend to resonate better with things that are perspective setting, you know, like maybe a statistic or a bit of comparison that makes sense to me. But I don't really get inspired by emotional statements and phrases, I think maybe. I don't really know what it is, but I just never find motivational speakers, even if I think what they're doing objectively is really good, if they're really good at what they do, you know. But sometimes I wish it did, though, you know. You see people who are really into motivational speakers, but motivational speaking is sort of a drug, you know. I don't think anybody's life is really changed by a motivational speaker. I think it's sort of like playing the lottery, you know. You're paying money to live in a brief fantasy of things will get better, but that fantasy eventually fades, so you have to go back for more and more and more. And I think that's what going to a motivational speaking seminar really is you're just kind of getting a hit of a drug. I mean, I could be wrong. I've just never met anybody or really even heard a story where they just heard one motivational speaker and changed their life. Not somebody who wouldn't have done that otherwise. You know, I think there's like triggers that people can hit, sort of like a moment of clarity that maybe a motivational speaker can trigger, but I don't think their speaking or what they're saying or them specifically are the cause of somebody turning their life around. I just don't think it works like that. It's a similar misunderstanding, I think, to therapy. A lot of people think that a therapist is someone who's going to have this big epic movie moment where they tell you all about yourself and you're going to be like, oh my gosh, my life has changed. I've never seen myself in that way. Now I'll never go back to my old ways. But it just isn't like that, you know. Therapists rarely tell you what you should or shouldn't do or think. And so I think a lot of people are sort of disappointed when they don't get this immediate gratification from seeing a therapist, you know. I think therapy is like such a long-term benefit, you know. It's like anything else. It's like you see people do that with exercise. They hear about a runner's high, they go for a run, they don't feel good, so they're like, oh, screw that. Well, it's like, okay, but it's not about it's not about one run, you know what I mean? It's like a lifelong journey to get there. Yoga, meditation, it's practice. So, you know, therapy, motivation, changing your life, it's like none of it's just going to happen quickly. It's all a series of tiny little incremental steps that slowly add up over time to a point where you almost can't even measure it until you're at a distance where the measurement's irrelevant, if that makes sense. Just a couple thoughts. I'm going to go back to finishing my chicken. All right. Hopefully I don't have to edit this too much.